Greetings, traveler.
Hey guys, I just finished playing day 1 of the buddy meta and I want to share with you guys what worked for me so you can use it in your own games. The first point I want to make is that if you have a value buddy, something that generates additional cards or spells or anything like that, it is perfectly fine to seriously overpay for this. You can see that in this particular game I pay 9 gold to get my Savjz buddy on turn 4. Savjz has a tier 4 buddy, as does Tess, as the Snake Eyes, and these are all good examples of buddies that you are perfectly happy to pay a lot of gold for. By getting the buddy this early, I'm generating value that makes more value. I steal an Omu buddy, which then gives me another card, and the initial investment of the very expensive 9 gold buddy is very quickly paid off by getting additional cards on your board, so you recuperate not only the value that you paid, but you're also gaining more tempo. You're filling your board up faster, so super worth it. And then sometimes the stars align and you also steal something like an ETC buddy, and now you can golden that early buddy. Now keep in mind that if you get your Savjz buddy on turn 4, this could happen as early as turn 5. You could have a golden Savjz buddy, not stealing 1 but 2 buddies per turn. Now because of this particular position in this game where I have a ghost, I can actually even pay 12 gold for these next buddies, which sounds crazy if you have never played buddy meta, but it is completely worth it here because now I'm going to steal 4 buddies from every one that I'm going to face, which not only gives me a ton of value, it gives me a lot of effects from these buddies, it's also just a triple, so I just get to discover a 6-drop. If I level to tier 5 next turn, it's completely bonkers. Here is another example of a test game that I played where on the the turn 3 5 gold turn, I actually prepared to be able to spend 9 gold by holding a scout on my board. I triple sell, go up to 9 gold again, and get the buddy out. This was also a first place game, so this strategy, it sounds crazy when you're not used to it, paying this much gold, but it absolutely works out. This time around, I generate even more value because I steal a Finley buddy, which then gives me another test buddy. After facing Finley, I hit ETC, and because I have 2 of the test buddies on my board, I don't steal 1 but 2 ETC buddies, which now allows me to get double golden test buddies. So even though it sounds very unlikely, there's going to be a lot of ETC players because it's a very good hero in the buddy meta. So when you have a hero like Savjz or Tess available, definitely don't hesitate. They are very good. As a little bit of a bonus clip, I'm going to show you how I even paid 11 gold to get the Snake Eyes buddy on turn 4. I would have loved to roll more than a 2 this game, but hey, if I have to sell 2 units, I'll sell 2 units. And that still gives me access to a very early box card, which I then have a super high roll moment. The turn rolls around, I roll a 5, I get eyes, and now I have a golden Snake Eyes buddy. Now granted, this is the best case scenario. It would have been perfectly, amazing to just discover an additional unit on this turn and then next turn roll, I don't know, a 3 and then get another spell and I just get the value. The point is that we want to start generating this value as early as possible. My second point is that Battlecry buddies were already incredibly powerful previous time around when you could combine them with Rarran, but now there are more ways than ever to recycle these effects. A great example of this is the Savjz buddy. You can use the Savjz buddy in combination with a Draconic to get obscene amounts of value. This is an example of a turn I had when I had the perfect setup, which is the only non-pairs you have are Draconic and a value Battlecry. Now the Savjz buddy will not target itself, so you don't need to have 2 of those, but you can see that on my board I've got a golden Greymane, a regular Greymane, golden base kill, regular base kill, golden atrocity, regular atrocity, which means that the only targets that are available are the death scale after you sell it, so you'll only have 1, and the value Battlecry. So with 2 Greymanes and these guards, I'm getting +2/+3 to my whole board every time I play one from the effect, and then another 3/3 from the Greymane. So stuff like this is just shenanigans that should probably not be in the game, but until they patch it out, you should absolutely abuse Battlecry buddies and recycle their effect. And my third point is that Gulakabra is a ridiculous card and will very likely get nerfed, and you should absolutely abuse it until they do. This card gives you permanent scaling every time a Death Rattle triggers. Now that's a very big difference because a trigger is much easier than a Death Rattle minion dying. You get extra triggers with Titus, you get extra triggers with Macaw, and you could reborn Death Rattle minions, abuse this even more. You can see that this Titus was played this turn, and that's a 1/7 stat line. Now, because of the additional triggers that happen with the Titus and the extra Death Rattles on my board, this is all permanent scaling that you're seeing here. Again, this is so silly. This is a Death Rattle build that should normally have more power during the combat, but all the power it's gaining here, it's also keeping for the next phase. So again, until they change this, you should probably play Gulakabra. I think the best setup for this is probably going to be something like Golden Macaw with Reborn, and then you have a Golden Titus, and then you have Gulakabras, and then you're either just going to use the Spiked Savior and just play the standard Lasher build with just a little bit less beast stuff and more just Gulakabra stuff, or you can even do something like Goldrin. As long as you have a Death Rattle to trigger a lot with Macaw and you have Reborn on both of those, it should be a ridiculous amount of scaling. In this particular game, I was really high rolling. I stole the tier 7 Undead, or I made it myself with the Tauren buddy that I stole from Tauren, and then I just give everyone permanent tier 7 Death Rattles, and that was obviously very good as well. But something as simple as just Macaw with Spiked Savior and Lasher with Titus Gulakabra should do very, very well. I hope you guys enjoyed this day 1 meta recap. If you'd like to see more of these in the future, please do like the video and let us know in the comments. It helps a ton. Enjoy the games and see you next time.